So over the next 3 days, we're going to talk about Maximum Press, which was a Rob Liefeld imprint. Rob did have Extreme Studios going at Image Comics, but he decided to open up his own separate publishing company called Maximum Press, which he claimed was to deal with books that he didn't feel fit within the Image universe. No shared universe with any of the books in Maximum Press. And this was the flagship title. This is War Child. This was the first one to come out, December of 1994. And I'm just going to pop it open here real quick and show it off to you guys. Created and written by Rob Liefeld, pencils and story by Chap Yape, script by Eric Stevenson. So I'm a little vague, so I'm guessing maybe Rob came up. This was a 4-issue miniseries. And I'm guessing that Rob came up with the story, the general story. Chap added some more to the story, but Eric handled the actual scripting duties and figuring out what the heck everyone is actually saying. So here we have like this old-time wizard. This is all it's kind of bizarre. It's a blend of fantasy and modern times. So you have this battle between, this evil Dark Lord and this old wizard. And they get in a fight. The art's excellent in this book. I would never say that the art was not excellent. Chap Yape's art is always absolutely fantastic. Very dynamic. Very, very much filled with colors. Speaking of which, I always like to plug the colorist. Nathan Lum really brought this to life with his colors. And this Dark Lord here kills the old timer, right? And we don't really know what the heck's going on here. And then all of a sudden we cut to Los Angeles, California, 1995. We have Sword and we have Stone and we have this little chick named Merlin. And we don't really know what's going on. We do know that Stone basically explains that he came from the past. He's from the Arthurian times, I would imagine. Even though he's not Arthur, I don't think. They're running around in the streets of Los Angeles trying to find a sword. And Stone is a warrior from the future, I'm guessing. He has a lot of science fiction elements to him. And we flash back to when Sword was a little kid and Gahan, this little jerk-off, is abusing him, beating him up, bullying him. And then this little chick, Gwendolyn, hits him in the head with a rock and saves her friend and takes him away. And they talk about how, I wish your father was still around, but he's off, in battle, and your mother doesn't like me, and blah, 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 blah. And then we flash to them being older, and he's being expelled from the kingdom, essentially. And Gwendolyn doesn't want him to leave. She loves him, and all of a sudden, this arrow comes shooting out of nowhere and hits her, and she's going to die. We'll get to that. And so here he is again in the future, and he's really surprised by all the technology that this old-timer has, and all of a sudden, he's like, hey, you're getting older, and so the little girl's growing up rapidly fast. Like, I don't know how old she is here because she looks the same as she did in the beginning pages. Like, we don't really, and yeah, I guess she's in the palm of the giant man's hand. And, but then here she is again, and I don't know, her body looks like a full-size woman's, kind of. I don't know. And Stone here has a very weird way of speaking. So is he a robot? Is he a cyborg? What is he? We don't really know. And that's kind of the whole problem with this whole book, is we don't really know. But it has some great art in it, and they just got to find this sword. And they break into a museum, and there's the sword, and then we cut to, oh, my sweet gentle sword, you must be strong, my love. Gwyn, don't, you mustn't speak. I have to, silly boy. Time is nearly up. No, it can't end like this. I won't let it. Don't be afraid, my love. I'll always be with you. I'll never leave you. And this tear drops from her eye and lands in her hand. And then she gets caught up and Death shows up. This is Death. And he looks very different than Death usually does, and he imbues her spirit into the sword. And there she is trapped in the gem in the sword. And oh, Gwyn, sob, dear beautiful Gwyn. Why, Gwyn? Why couldn't it have been me? Because, child, we need you. It's like, okay. We cut back to here, and like these two security guards just show up. And they're like, hey, you can't be here. And all of a sudden, they start to morph into something. The Vizier must have warned you of the Black Knight's legions. Well, these young sword are they. And we get here, and they've turned into demons. Indeed we are, wise Merlin, and on our heels comes your annihilation. So the chick is Merlin, the knight is Sword, and the big dude with all the fun Rob Liefeld stuff on his back is Stone, and we still don't know what the hell is really going on in this comic book. And I find it very disinteresting reading it as a grown-ass man. Very disinterested. I'm not gonna, even though I own all of this, because I bought everything Rob Liefeld ever made when I was a kid. Wouldn't recommend you go pick up the other issues because this is just a jarbled, confusing mess, and they didn't. They give you a lot of backstory in it, but it's just like it doesn't sync up because we don't know what the hell's going on in all these pages. We don't understand why he's here. We don't understand anything. Okay? We just know that Gwendolyn is in this friggin' sword. How did the sword get here? Why is it here? How did he get here? Why is he here? Who's this little chick? Is it Gwendolyn? I don't know. Who is he? We don't know. We don't know who anybody is. And it's like they wanted to take the legend of King Arthur and bring Arthur into the future, but they didn't want to call him Arthur, I guess, maybe? Which is a good idea. If you're watching this and you're a young comic book creator, I'm giving you an idea you can still, right now, and make a comic book out of. You can hire me to be the editor if you want, and I'll help you craft it to be really good. But how Rob Liefeld did it, I don't know. It's not making sense. And we have demons, okay? But anyway, to the max. In the past few months, you may have seen some advertisements for our new company. We're Maximum Press, and we're pleased to make your acquaintance. We know that there are literally hundreds of choices out there, and we're glad you've given us a try. We're looking to do things a little different here at Maximum Press. There will be no shared universes, no interconnecting crossovers, no tricks, and no lies. No way. Nope. We just want to do fun comics. War Child was a fun comic for us, and we hope it is for you too. Hurry back here for our next issue, and we'll tell you more about the behind-the-scenes efforts that go into War Child. In the meantime, send your letters of comments to the War Party in Anaheim, California. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Best, Rob Liefeld, publisher, Maximum Press. P.S. Check out Wizard, the Guide to Comics, number 23, for a 3-page story featuring War Child's Sword and Stone. You'll be glad you did. I don't think you will be, actually. Here we have the New Men. I only own a couple issues of this. I'm trying to pick up some more. It's all right. Todd Knock does the art for New Men, and I like Todd Knock's art. The battle beyond Armageddon has begun. Extreme sacrifice and extreme crossover to make extreme money. Whatever. What's up with this face? Who did this? Is this Stephen Platt? It's got the Stephen Platt veins, his freaking steroid arms here. But I don't know what happened on this face. Poor Supreme. Oh, Bad Rock. There it is. We've already talked about getting your rocks off with Bad Rock and how Rob didn't do issue 3 of the Bad Rock miniseries, nor did he do issue 3 of the Bad Rock Grifter team-up miniseries. You owe me a comic, Rob. You owe me 2 comics. I mean, technically you owe me 4 comics if we're going to go back to Images of Tomorrow. Oh, no. You owe me like 6 comics if we go back to Images of Tomorrow. Once he was the Mafia's most dangerous hitman. Now he's their worst nightmare. So basically, if Rob Liefeld hadn't been the publisher of comics, they would have had a lot more success at Maximum Press. They would have had a lot more success at Extreme Studios. back in the day, because clearly, you know, guys like Rob Liefeld, Marat Michaels, Dan Frega, were all coming up with very fun-looking characters with ridiculous shoulder pads, but you know, at the end of the day, there just wasn't anybody keeping track of what was going on. It's like there was no editor-in-chief, and without someone to crack the whip, nothing's gonna get done, and books are gonna come out late, and fans are gonna be disappointed. And it doesn't matter how cool your character looks, if you don't put it out in a timely fashion, you're screwed. And people don't care. Ooh, Black Flag. That's up next. That's the next video we're gonna do tomorrow. So stick around for that. And that's War Child. You know. Sorry I wasted your time, but I wanted to prepare you in case you're digging through the back issue bins and you come across this totally awesome cover that makes you want to buy it, because Rob Liefeld sure does know how to lay out a cover, doesn't he? And big time, big time. But ultimately, what's inside looks good, but it's incoherent. It's just incoherent. So skip this one, and we'll talk about Black Flag next, here on Crypto Comics.